Welcome everyone to the International Conference on Educational Research and Innovation, iCERI2023 at IPG Campus Tun Abdul Razak. So welcome, a very good morning to everyone. Once again, to those who have just arrived, please scan your attendance and have the barcode at the end of our hall. There is a registration counter, so please scan your attendance for the 2 days program on International Conference on Educational Research and Innovation 2023. So welcome everyone. Just a gentle reminder again, please put your handphone on silent mode to avoid interruption during the entire event. And for those who need to know, the toilet is just right at the back of the hall. On the right side will be the female toilet and washroom and restroom, and on the left side will be the male restroom. Okay. Just for everyone's information, okay, we have speakers from all over the globe. Okay, we have speakers from Philippines, Singapore, Finland, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, and from Malaysia. We have Dr. Cecilia A. Suarez from Philippines, an Executive Director of Ateneo Center for English Language Teaching. We have Mr. Craig Camp from Singapore, who is a co-founder, EduSpark and Teach Consultant. From Finland, we have Mr. Petri Krajalainen, okay, a founder of Finnish Learning Solution Sriyanberhat, FETS. Madam Rakib Mukherjee from India, who is a principal at Pal Shangbi Global School and PPS International Junior College. She's also a top 50 women education leadership. From Indonesia, we have Professor Dr. Joko Nurkanto, lecturer from Department of English Language Teaching, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, 11 Maret University. From Vietnam, we have Dr. Tin Thi Dam, a Dean from Faculty of Foreign Language, Ho Chi Minh City University of Technology and Education. Finally, from our very own country, Malaysia, we have Dr. Aslam Khan bin Samas Khan, an Academic Director and Executive Vice Chairman, American Education Group Malaysia, who is also an executive council member of NAPE. So we have magnificent speakers from all over the globe. Okay, so stay with us throughout the 2 days conference. Ladies and gentlemen, selamat datang, selamat datang, selamat mandek, Kuan Yin, Chào mừng, Barabridu, Maligayang Kapadating. Okay, all means welcome. Welcome to the International Conference and Educational Research and Innovation 2023, iCERI 2023. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us witness a cultural dance performance which will be performed by our wonderful, talented dancers. We will be entertained with the cultural and performing arts performance called Ngajak Ngalu Tumuai, a beautiful event, the Sea Dayak ethnic dance and the Rajang Ba'u, a cultural dance from the Bidayu, the Land Dayak ethnic of Sorong. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ngajak Ngalu Tumuai dance is the local Iban dialect, which means the welcoming dance, performance during festive occasions such as the Gawai Festival, weddings, and event-sponsored events and venues. Whereas the Rejang Ba'eh dance is a Bidayu ethnic dance that is usually danced after the harvest season as a form of entertainment for the longhouse guests. It is usually danced by two male dancers with outstretched arms representing an eagle. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome artist Tari IPG Keta with their performance, the Ngajak Ngalu Tumuai and Rejang Ba'eh on stage.
Here.
Thank you to artist Tari IPG Keta. What a graceful and great performance indeed. The cultural and performing arts dance performance just now were accompanied by the harmonious, pleasing melodic ensemble called the Iban's Tabu, which means the sound of the Iban ethnic traditional music instruments consisting of four main percussions, namely the tawa, drum, angkarumong, and babendang. While another melodious sound accompanying our distinguished guest upon arrival is called the gamelan, which refers to traditional Indonesian percussion and orchestra. It is the ensemble consists of ornate, percussive instruments made of hand-forged metal, xylophone, gongs, gong chimes, drums, cymbals, strings instruments, and bamboo flutes. Ladies and gentlemen, next, we will listen to a sharing by one of our featured speakers. For that, I would like to hand over the session to our chairperson, Madam Lo Moy Ju. Madam Lo, the floor is yours. Okay, slight changes. Okay, the guest of honor has arrived, so we will continue with the next session later on. Yeah? So, ladies and gentlemen, the opening ceremony is going to start shortly. So please be seated. And again, a gentle reminder, please switch your handphone to a silent mode to avoid interruption during the entire event. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, apologize. All right, so we will continue with our featured speaker session, yeah? So here we would like to invite, again, Madam Loh Moy Jun as our chairperson to conduct the next session. To you, Madam Loh.
Okay, thank you. A very good morning and salam Malaysia Madani, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests and fellow participants. Welcome to the International Conference on Educational Research and Innovation 2023. As introduced, I am Loh Moy Jun from the Language Department, and I am honored to be the chairperson for this session. And this session will take us around 45 minutes. As the famous Malay proverb goes, tak kenal maka tak cinta, which means we cannot love who we do not know. So with that, allow me to introduce our very first speaker, Mr. Petri. Mr. Petri is the founder of Finnish Learning Solutions Sdn Bhd of FETS, an internationally recognized learning solution developer from Finland. Throughout his previous career, he has worked with many of the world's best children's brands and the best pedagogists from Finland. Since founding the FETS, Mr. Petri has designed and managed several successful education projects in Malaysia, together with both public and private learning institutions. FETS provides education methods from Finland, which are packaged as learning solutions, training programs, field trips, and other projects, which streamlines the implementation of these methods to any learning organization from preschools to universities. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Petri to come on stage and start our first session by providing our brain a healthy breakfast with a 45 minutes presentation on happy pedagogy and Finland education. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your brain morning breakfast. Now, the stage is yours, Mr. Petri.
Thank you very much. Selamat pagi, everybody. It's great to be here and with so big and great audience. and regards from Finland. Today, I'm not going to talk you much about something which you probably have heard already from Finland. I'm trying to more focus on some more practical things. Oh, I need to log on first. My this morning topic is it's not what you teach, but how. With that, I mean our education systems are very different. If you compare Finnish system to Malaysian system, there are a lot of differences, which comes from different legacy of how the whole system has been developed. So I'm not going to talk much about that. I'm more focusing on practical things. First couple of words about Finnish Education Solutions, Serdian Berhad. We are founded in 2018. Myself, I've been in Malaysia for 8 years now. So I have quite a good experience of Malaysian education institutions and how things works here. We are doing this Finnish methodology promotion here in Malaysia with different ways. We are offering different learning solutions, packages to the learning institutions. We are providing teacher training programs, educational events, and educational field trips to Finland. And with the combination of this, we hope we can learn from each others. But before going into the practical things, it could be good to highlight some of this Finnish education approach. First of all, we have all the same subjects what you have in a school. But Finnish national curriculum emphasizes really much something what we call transversal competencies. Transversal competencies are something which needs to be integrated in every lesson plan every day. Not all of these has to be there every day and every lesson, but all of these topics has to be somehow integrated in your lesson plans over a certain period. We are talking about things like cultural competencies, interaction with others, self-expression, taking care of yourself and managing your daily life, and well-being related to that. Multiliteracy, which means that we want you to understand the communication flow which is coming from different sources and separate fake news from right news. Digital competence means that because AI and digital tools are everywhere in today's life, we want you to maintain and be proficient with all these digital tools. Participating in the surrounding community, involvement in a community development, and last but not least is thinking. We want the kids to learn to think with their own brains. And we also want them to learn to learn. Learning to learn is one of the key competence areas which carries long in your life. And everybody has different learning styles, so we just want to encourage kids to learn their own learning style. Another thing which is typical to Finnish education is recess. Every public school, every primary school, every secondary school in Finland have 15 minutes break after 45 minutes instruction. There is a lot of scientific evidence that having recess after the instruction increase the learning. So actually the learning happens in your recess time and is hard-coded in your brain. The other topic, which is really, really important, we emphasize the amount of sleep. Especially the younger the kids are, the more important is that they have enough sleep. There is also a huge amount of studies around the world how lack of sleep can reduce your learning curve. So having enough sleep actually improves your learning. A couple of years ago, the city of Helsinki decided to make it compulsory for all of the secondary schools in the city to start their school day not earlier than 9 a.m. So that means that all the secondary schools in Helsinki region starts after 9. Reason was that there were so many studies that kids don't have enough time to sleep. So instead of trying to force them to go sleep earlier, they decided to start school day later. That gave the kids 1 hour more time or 2 hours more time to sleep, which is crucial for developing brains. And another thing is that you might think that when we are integrating all these transversal competencies in our lesson plans, we have a lot of research time and breaks during the day. One could think that school days in Finland has to be very long because we are studying less. But actually this is research from UNESCO, which shows that actually Finland has the shortest school days in the world. The blue one shows the hours in the school, and the yellow one shows the hours doing the homework. And Finland is the one on the left, which is the shortest school day plus shortest homework time a day. And the black dots there present so-called education productivity, which means how highly marked are their score points in science per hour of studies. And you can see there's big difference in those countries on the left compared to the countries on the right. So we believe that doing less but doing the right things provides better results than just doing more. So less can be more. Are you familiar with this word cloud method? Okay, this is a word cloud from Finnish national curriculum. And when you look at this cloud, you can see what is the key word, the most important word in a Finnish national curriculum. It's learning, which is quite natural. Of course, learning should be in the core of the curriculum. Then, just for comparison, I was planning to do same for Malaysian national curriculum, but I couldn't extract all the words from the national curriculum of Malaysia because, first of all, it's huge documentation. So instead of that, I decided to grab the words from National Education Blueprint, Malaysian Education Blueprint 2025. And you can see education is high there, but speaking about education and learning is a bit different approach for same topic. Then ministry is the second important word in this documentation. And system is also quite highly ranked in this word cloud. So that just shows that how mindset is a bit different in Finland. We are more focusing on student-centric topics like learning, while in Malaysia we are more focusing on the system level things. Now, everybody have your smartphones with you. Please scan the code here. If you cannot scan, go to menti.com and type the code 62623441. We have a couple of questions for you. I just listed here a couple of pedagogical methods from Finland, and I want to ask your opinion or how familiar you are with this. Are you familiar with them? Means that you use them weekly basis in your school, or the other end of the scale is that you want and need to learn more about the topics. First one is play-based pedagogy. I think everybody of you have learned about this and know something about this. Second one is positive pedagogy. I think at least some of you definitely knows what that means in theory, but have you practiced this in your school? Design-based project learning is basically an approach where we combine design learning and project learning. Student-centered learning, where a student is in the middle of the learning process. Assessment considered as a learning aid, not for evaluation tool. Is that something what you are doing weekly basis, providing assessment to encourage the students learn more? Phenomenon-based learning and STEAM. And STEAM means that you add the arts element in STEM. So we are getting results quite quickly. So it looks like quite many of you are somewhat familiar with these methodologies. And some of you are already using them weekly basis. And okay, still coming more responses. Okay, this was just one exercise to activate you. So it's good to know that you have learned so many of those key pedagogical methods what are used in the school system in Finland. At least you are somewhat familiar with them, most of you. So now we will come to the next phase of my presentation, is to discuss what are the practical differences in Finland and Malaysia. If you are already familiar with the methodologies in use in Finland, and while same time you can see that for some reason results are not in a par between each others. So what can you as an average teacher in your school or district officer do without changing anything in a system level. You are provided the same information and same documentation that every teachers in the world. And since most of you are proficient in English, it's easy for you to adopt those methods. But how to implement this theory in the practice? For this, I wanted to invite one of the officers from the field who has quite a lot of experience introducing the Finnish education methods in his education district in Perak. And we can ask him how he feel about this and what we have been doing together. And one good thing is he is just recently retired from his position as an education officer, so he can speak freely with you. So welcome, Mr. Ravi. Can you please come on the stage? You can now start asking questions from us. We try to ask using the same Mentimeter account. You can scan the code here and throw questions. But first, Mr. Ravi, you have visited Finland several times with different groups of educators, teachers, officers, and so on. You have organized number of educational events in Perak, field trips from Finnish specialists coming to your district. And I think the biggest highlight was a couple of years ago, this 2 days Finnish classroom experience workshop in Taiping, where we have 10 teachers from Finland conducting or teaching the local kids. And the local teachers were observing how the Finnish teachers do the same thing. So what is there something with how you will summarize this whole experience?
Saya akan bercakap dalam bahasa Inggeris dan juga bahasa Melayu. Saya kenalkan diri saya dulu. Saya Muhammad Ravi JC bin Abdullah. Saya bertugas sudah bersara, baru bersara bulan 7 yang lepas, just retired. Okay. I have been in the District Education Office of Larut, Matang dan Selama, sebuah daerah di Perak, Bandar Taiping, yang mempunyai 146 buah sekolah. Sebuah daerah yang besar dengan anggaran guru dalam 7,000 orang guru bagi daerah tersebut. Jadi, as what Mr. Petri has mentioned earlier, I have started using Finnish education punya programs. Dia punya methodology, dia punya what you call it, software, dalam innovation di peringkat sekolah rendah dan juga sekolah menengah. Okay, primary and secondary schools. Salah satu yang telah saya buat adalah tentang dalam bahasa Inggeris, English language, kita menghadapi masalah, we have problems with the vocabulary acquisition of our students. Selalu murid kita tidak ingat dengan perkataan-perkataan yang telah diajar oleh seseorang guru. Jadi saya melalui Encik Petri, we introduce what we call it Mumin Language App, di mana murid mempunyai 15 minutes maximum per day untuk mengenali huruf secara play based. Salah satu teknologi yang digunakan di negara-negara Nordic, especially Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, dan Norway. These 5 countries menggunakan Mumin Language punya app untuk mengukuhkan, so that the students can remember, but it's a play base. When it's a play base, dia nampak perubahan. You can see changes among the kids. So we have a control group and a non-control group. Dan kita ada 2 universiti yang membuat kajian ke atas ke atas murid-murid ini, yang pertama daripada University of Turku, Finland, dan yang kedua adalah daripada University of Science, Malaysia, Pulau Pinang. Jadi dua universiti yang berbeza menjalankan kajian, dan didapati bahawa murid-murid yang menggunakan apps ini adalah 85% lebih menguasai. Sekolah yang dipilih 33 schools. Okay, and as what Pentri has mentioned, I have been to Finland few times. I've taken different groups of people. Dan yang terbaru yang saya bawa adalah pada sebelum COVID, pada bulan 2. Akhir bulan 2, bulan 3 dah started border shutdown. So we are not allowed to go anywhere. Okay, we are planning to go again next year untuk membawa satu lagi kumpulan guru, sebab kumpulan yang dibawa tidak boleh melebihi 15 orang. Sebab kita akan pergi ke sekolah-sekolah. And I have taken Malaysian teachers from Taiping especially untuk mengajar murid-murid Finland di sekolah di Finland. Ini satu experience yang baik untuk guru-guru saya yang berada di Taiping. They have experienced that students punya. Jadi kalau kita lihat di sana, yang paling pertama thing that I notice is the well-being of the students. Okay, and then the last project yang Mr. Bakri mentioned earlier was apa yang telah kami bawa ke Taiping. Kami telah bawa 10 orang guru untuk mengajar anak murid kita pula di sekolah-sekolah di daerah Taiping. Dan dia memberikan satu, dan guru-guru kita dapat melihat bagaimana guru-guru ini melaksanakan PDP-nya. So it was quite interesting to see this kind of things that happening around. And di mana we as teachers, educators, we need to be very flexible, especially bila kita adopt and adapt new technologies, new ways of teaching methods in our system. We need to be very flexible. We cannot be rigid. Once we are rigid, everything goes haywire. For example, I'll tell you why Finland is very different. Dia punya priority number 1, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong. Dia punya priority number 1 is well-being of the students, number 1. Number 2 is well-being of the teachers. Dia just tak nak, they want to see the students when they come to school. For example, tuan-tuan lah, saya tanya pada tuan-tuan lah. Tuan-tuan yang sudah mengajar, yang pelajar di IPG, mungkin when you go out to teach, you akan nampak lah. Okay, for teachers yang sudah mengajar, when kita diarahkan untuk tunggu di pintu pagar sekolah untuk menyambut murid, right? Cuba lihat muka murid-murid kita. Pagi-pagi bila mereka sampai ke sekolah. How do they react? Do they run to the school dengan muka yang begitu gembira? Do they do that? Adakah mereka akan datang ke sekolah dengan muka yang begitu gembira? Every time when we see at their faces, we wonder, oh my God, what happened to this child today? Right? Why? This is the question that we always have to ask why, and why. Okay, Petri, I think I have mentioned to them some of the things.
Yes, thank you, Ravi. Very good explanation of your experience. We have some questions from the audience, which we have enough time to take. So first, it seems to be for me, is it true that there is no homework for Finland? This has been getting 5 upvotes, the question. Well, first of all, we do have homeworks in Finland. If you remember the slide earlier, amount of the homework is less than many other countries. But we do have homework and we do have assessment. What we don't have is standardized tests. We have only one standardized test at the end of the secondary school, which is a national matriculation exam. That's the only one standardized test.
Can I add something? Sure. When we talk about homework in Finland, what I noticed bila saya pergi ke bilik darjah di sekolah, teachers lesson 45 minutes. When teacher finish the lesson, they give them kerja, homework. Bukan homework, kerja dalam kelas. And one of the notice that I noticed among the students are, di mana the students are not confined dalam bilik darjah. Once the teacher give them work to do, the students are allowed, they are free to go outside the classroom to complete the homework. For example, if the teacher set the task is 10 minutes, In 10 minutes, they must complete the task outside the classroom and must come back to the classroom. They don't have to sit inside the classroom. Di mana kita tak boleh buat. Because we kata murid kita ramai 40. Yes, I've seen schools in Finland, muridnya 35. But they allow it. Because yang pertama sekali adalah di mana kita memastikan bahawa arahan kita itu dipatuhi. Kita akan ada seorang dua orang yang takkan patuh. Sama juga di Finland. Kalau tuan-tuan tanya pada saya, discipline problem di Finland memang ada, bukan tak ada. There are discipline problems in schools in Finland. Yes. Bukan tak ada, ada. Sama macam kita juga. Our kids, our boys, our girls. Sama. Okay? Patrick, second question.
All right. Okay. Next question is that do you agree that our education system is too packed for the primary school kids? Well, I would say yes and no. Based on my experience, there is not that much difference in curriculum learning objectives, but maybe something which differs Finland is how teachers differentiate the learning process for individual children. And probably Finland has more resources on that. So if in a group or in a class there are several, a number of students who don't have any problem with the speed of progress, and some do, so the teachers in Finland typically differentiate their learning instructions so that they let those faster learners to continue with the curriculum, but yet same time make sure that those slower progressors will learn at least the basic before going to the next topic. And this is something what we can probably, it will be enough for another conference how the differentiation can be implemented in a school. It's a big topic, and it requires certain type of resources and knowledge from the school and teachers. Just enter. This is for you, Mr. Ravi.
Okay. 85%. We have to limit our participants during the classroom experience in typing. The reason is because we actually did it inside the classroom. We had 6 classrooms. So the participants came all the way from Sabah. I noticed Sarawak, there was 1, I think. And most of them are from the Semenanjung. And 85% of the participants who came asked us to redo it again. So we are planning to do it, and then after that COVID hit, so the thing has been shut down. Okay, so we are organizing another one next year. If everything goes well, it will be on the 18th, but it is not going to be a classroom experience. It's going to be a conference, a Finnish education conference in Kuala Lumpur, in KL, on the 18th of January 2024, if everything goes well. We are still negotiating with our participants. I mean our speakers. Okay, and we're going to do that.
How the research time managed in Finland? But basically, this is something which is every teacher is responsible to allocate the time. So standard setup is that duration of instruction is 45 minutes, which is followed by the 15 minutes break, which is typically outdoors. So kids go out from the classroom and do whatever they want to do with their friends, mingle with their friends, or go do some play football or whatever, which is facilities available on the school grounds. Sometimes teachers can have longer sessions, which will be followed by a longer recess time. So basically, a maximum what teachers do typically is to combine these 2 45-minute sessions for 1.5-hour session, followed by half an hour break. In Finland, of course, the pandemic had some impact, but the impact in Malaysia was much more severe. One of the reasons was that Finland was already very well digitalized. All the schools had already utilizing certain digital tools, so switching to online learning was not that big issue. Another topic was that Finland was already utilizing this project-based learning from all the levels, from primary to secondary schools. So, and project learning fits very well for remote learning. So many of the schools actually adopt remote project learning approach rather than online learning. How about in Malaysia, Ravi?
Actually, yang hadir hari ini, you all can go to the what do you call it, UNESCO punya website or World Bank punya website. They have complete report on all the countries on how bad we are affected. The learning gap yang berlaku semasa COVID hari itu, kita masih merasa sekarang. Especially students who are in year 1, year 2 and year 3. The first 3 years, and of course students from Form 1, Form 2 and Form 3, where the Form 3 has already completed their SPM last year. You will notice the report, complete report is in World Bank. There are a lot of reports regarding Malaysian education di sana yang dibuat oleh di bawah under United Nations. There's a lot of report. Report terbaru yang dikeluarkan adalah tentang preschool. Is there too? Dr. What the name? Dr. Analka.
Yeah.
Dr. Analka, report from Dr. Analka is there. You have to go. If you have time, just go and read, and then you'll understand what is the real situation is now. That is why tuan-tuan yang ada di sini, perempuan yang ada di sini sebagai guru, your challenge as a teacher adalah besar.
There's one question about shortest time in school and how long a school time for primary and secondary. Of course, secondary school have longer hours than primary. They are a bit shorter than in Malaysia. And considering this 15 minutes break after every lesson, it's also less this kind of hard code study time. I don't have the numbers in my head right now, but they are considerably shorter than in Malaysia. About curriculum achievements in Finland, Finland has always been in top 10 among the PISA and other studies. So means that probably we do receive the curriculum achievements relatively well. Residential school, you mean like a boarding school? Okay, we don't have boarding schools at Finland. I don't recall any boarding school in Finland. The other thing what we don't have in Finland is tuition industry. It simply doesn't exist. There is no place for the tuition centers in Finland because schools are performing good enough. Next. This is a good question. Of course, all the teachers have some administration responsibilities. They need to record who is in the school and what time they are leaving the school and when they are coming into the schools. This is also something where technology helps the teachers, so they don't need to mark them manually. But there is much less reporting. Finland, we more believe in this kind of responsibility than accountability. I think that basically explains the difference. Since we are short of time, let's just move on. Well, this is a very broad question. I think the differentiation is one of the key topics, and this is something I would like to organize a completely separate conference, how differentiation works, how personalized curriculum can work, and how inclusion work in practice. It's a very big topic. Since we do have the national matriculation exams, this is something where everybody is measured in a similar way. And this paper is used when you apply to university, for example. We just don't believe that national exams in a lower level helps in a learning. So learning is the most important approach, and we use formative assessments, basically daily basis, to make sure that kids are learning, and having this instant feedback loop help them to learn better and faster. So employers, they, nobody apply a job with a basic secondary school exams. So basically, employers look at your usability, your skills, and your progress in a higher learning institution. Yeah, the mixed method classroom became very typical after the pandemic, especially with the older students and upper secondary. And quite often those remote learning is either based on flipped learning or project-based learning approach, where the kids need to prepare something for the next school day. When I was at school, I started to study English language on the 3rd grade. Now we are starting this on the 1st grade. So we all need to learn at these 2 foreign languages. First compulsory language is the second national language, which for me was Swedish language. If my mother tongue would have been Swedish, Finnish language would have been compulsory. And second foreign language you can choose from palette of languages, and most kids choose English. And then there's option to choose more languages depending of the school. My sister actually had 6 languages at school. Yes, we have constant teacher training. And I think the most efficient so far has been so-called tutor-teacher program, where we roll out by training trainers among the teachers to go to the other school, to invite the teachers from other schools to their school to see how they are practicing the new skills. This speed up the rollout process. And where 2 or 3 teachers will come to the class to help group of students. This is actually quite typical Finnish approach. We call it co-teaching. You can combine 2 different subjects in a one group session. For example, you can combine arts and science, or you can combine biology and geography in the same lesson with the 2 teachers from different subjects. Yes, game-based learning is, I would say that is lower level than play-based. So play-based learning is a higher level definition, and game-based learning is part of that. So many questions. We actually are implementing a lot of game-based learning in the Finnish schools. hopefully we have enough time to tell one example. There is early literacy app in Finland, which was originally developed for children with dyslexia. It was co-developed together with the University of Uvascular and Cambridge some 15 years ago. And it was so effective with dyslexia children that teachers wanted to adapt it to the mainstream. So basically every child now learned to read and write using this app. So we can claim that every child learned to read and write in 3 months. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, we are referring back to the differentiation. So looks like this is probably one of the key topics we should talk in the future in Malaysia, how to differentiate the learning with different speed progressing children.
Okay, I think we are short of time. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan, maybe during the break you can come and ask us at the belakang nanti. Okay, so thank you very much.
Probably we can pick up some of these questions to the tomorrow forum. So thank you everybody for interaction.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Petri, for your comprehensive and insightful sharing on happy pedagogy and Finland education. And I'm glad to have you to remain on stage. Okay, to show our extremely big heart for the presentation, I would like to invite our Deputy Director, Dr. Hajah Noraini binti Omar, to come on stage and present a token of appreciation. You stay on stage. You stay on stage. Thank you. Terima kasih. Nandri Kitos to Mr. Petri and Dr. Hajah Noraini binti Omar. Ladies and gentlemen, with that gesture of love and appreciation, we have come to the end of our first session. On behalf of the host and the speaker, I would like to thank the audiences for your attentive and active listening. Hopefully, the presentation benefits everybody. And last but not least, let's give a huge round of applause to the speaker. Back to the MC.
Thank you very much, Madam Loh Moy Jun.
Okay. Thank you very much to our speaker, Mr. Patrick, and also Mr. Ravi. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the opening ceremony is going to begin soon. So here's a gentle reminder. Please switch your handphone to silent mode to avoid interruption during the entire event. Yeah?
Announcing the arrival of the Honorable Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Loran Sagam Wee, Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development of Sarawak, accompanied by Madam Anis Alisha binti Abdullah, the Director of the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus Kota Semarahan, and alongside is Madam Hajah Siti Zulaimah binti Ibrahim, Deputy Director for Learning Sector, Sarawak State Education Department, and other distinguished guests.
Distinguished and honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we sing our national anthem, Negaraku, and our state anthem, Ibu Pertiwiku, and the Rukun Negara Pledge by Mr. Syahrul Zulkarnain bin Haslan.
Rakyat Bahawasanya negara kita Malaysia mendukung cita-cita hendak mencapai perpaduan yang lebih erat dalam kalangan seluruh masyarakatnya, memelihara satu cara hidup demokratik, mencipta satu masyarakat adil di mana kemakmuran negara akan dapat dinikmati bersama secara adil dan saksama, membina satu masyarakat progresif yang akan menggunakan sains dan teknologi moden. Maka kami rakyat Malaysia berikrar akan menumpukan seluruh tenaga dan usaha kami untuk mencapai cita-cita tersebut berdasarkan atas prinsip-prinsip yang berikut. Kepercayaan kepada Tuhan, kesetiaan kepada raja dan negara, keluhuran perlembagaan, kedaulatan undang-undang, kesopanan dan kesusilaan.
Thank you, Mr. Shahril Zulkarnain, for the Rukun Negara pledge. Distinguished and honorable guests and members of the audience, you may now be seated. Distinguished and honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, let us lend our ears for our choir performance with their songs Rasa Sayang and Burung Kakatua, which means loving feeling and kakatua. Let us all put our hands together for the choir performance Rasa Sayang and Burung Kakatua. What a magnificent performance. Rasa Sayang or Loving Feeling is a folk song from the Malay archipelago, popular in countries like Brunei, Indonesia, Singapore, and of course, Malaysia. It is similar to other Malay folk songs, a traditional ethnic Malay poetic form. It carries the moral values of sense of love to our loved ones. Burung Kakatua, the Kakatu, on the other hand, is a fun and beautiful folk song adapted from Indonesian folk song that compares a beloved Kakatu to a grandmother. It is subject to Malay nursery rhymes that brings moral values to religiosity, communicative, peace-loving, affection, and loyalty. Thank you to our choir for the performance led by Ms. Annette Alicia Pilar. Next, we would like to invite our Fadil, Ustaz Muhammad Rozini bin Abdul Manaf, to recite the dua.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning. For those who are Muslim, let us start with prayer, and those who are not Muslim can pray according to their respective religious ceremonies. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahilladzi bi ni'matihi tatimmus shalihat. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulina al-amin, habibina al-karim, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Allahumma ya Allah, ya Rahman wa ya Rahim. Dear Allah, the most compassionate and the most merciful, we extend our hands gratefully praying to you and expressing our appreciation on your infinite favor to us so that we can gather here today. Oh Allah, embrace us, your servant, to always be thankful for the mercy and grace that you have abounded us. Ya Allah, Ya Alim, Ya Khabir. Oh Allah, the all-knowing and the knower of inner truth, we are here to seek for your knowledge, which is beneficial for us, so that we can develop our potential upon your blessings. Allah, our Lord, the Almighty, may you bless this international conference on educational research and innovation 2023, officiated by Yang Berhormat Datuk Roland Sagahwiin, Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development Sarawak. Grant us with wisdom, enlighten our hearts with your guidance. Hopefully by the end of this conference, we can contribute to the betterment and advancement of our education. Ya Allah, Ya Qawi, Ya Mateen, the all-strong and the steadfast, please reward us with good health, peaceful mind, and spiritual strength. Hopefully, we can cope with challenges and turbulences so that we can contribute to the field of education. Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alameen. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, Amin, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Ustaz Muhammad Rozili, for the dua recital. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. First of all, let's be thankful to God the Almighty, who has given us His mercy and blessing to attend this memorable occasion. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be your MC for today. I am Nordin bin Saruji, and I'm also very glad to be accompanied by my beautiful co-MC, Hasdina binti Fadil. Once again, a very good morning and Salam Malaysia Madani to our distinguished and honorable guests. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very honored and delighted to welcome you all, as we say in our national language, welcome, selamat datang to the International Conference on Educational Research and Innovation, iCERI2023. The conference brings together academia, researchers, innovators, and practitioners who are going to present their research findings in the field of education, specifically sharing invaluable and insightful input and disseminating exciting and cutting-edge findings from their field of studies. First of all, allow me to bestow our deepest gratitude to our distinguished and honorable guests today. Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Roland Sagam, WIN, Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development of Sarawak. Madam Anis Alisha binti Abdullah, Director of the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus Kota Semarahan. Madam Hajah Siti Sulaiha binti Ibrahim, Deputy Director for Learning Sector, representing the Sarawak State Education Director. Dr. Noraini binti Hadi Omar, Deputy Director of the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus Kota Semarahan. Puan Adibah binti Omar, iCERI2023 Coordinator, Head of the Research and Innovation Planning Department, IPGKR. The Directors of the Institute of Teacher Education, Sarawak Zone, officers from the State Education Department, officers from the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development of Sarawak, principals, headmasters, provost members, head of the department, lecturers, teachers, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, not forgetting a very warm welcome to our keynote speakers, presenters and participants of the International Conference on Educational Research and Innovation, iCERI2023.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next event in our ceremony this morning, let us invite Madam Anis Alisha binti Abdullah, Director of the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus, Kota Semarahan, to come up to the stage and deliver her welcoming speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Mr. Nordin and Madam Haslina as our MCs for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Malaysia Madani. Salam IPG kita ku sayangi. Salam Sarawak maju makmur. Salam segulai sejalan. Salam IPG kita ku sayangi. Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Roland Sagam, WIN, Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development of Sarawak. Madam Hajah Siti Zulaiha binti Ibrahim, Deputy Director for Learning Sector, representing the Sarawak State Education Director. Dr. Noraini binti Haji Omar, Deputy Director of the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus, Kota Semarahan. Puan Adibah binti Omar, Coordinator for our conference today. Director of the Institute of Teacher Education, Batu Lintang Campus, my friend, Dr. Abang Ismail, officers from the State Education Department, MEITD officers, principals, headmasters, profess members, heads of department, lecturers, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen. All praise to Allah the Almighty that we can be gathered here for the official opening of the International Conference on Education Research and Innovation, better known as iCERI2023. In fact, Dr. Sri and I were joking. Dr. Sri was asking me, he says, Madam Anis, is it iCERI or iCERI? And I said, no, bahaya tu. Dr. Sri is iCERI. So it's iCERI 2023. I would like to welcome all of you and extend my gratitude for your presence here today. Thank you very much, Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri, for making time to join us this morning. As the chairperson of the working committee, I stand here today with a great sense of pride as iCERI 2023 has finally dawned on us. Our team at the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak campus, have been working very closely with the organizer of this event, the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development Sarawak, particularly with Mr. Donald, for the past few months, to make sure the preparation is being carried out with attention to detail. This great responsibility that comes with a huge expectation has indeed been made easier by the commitment shown and given by each and every one of the committee members, coordinated by Puan Adibah Omar and her team from the Research and Innovation Planning Department of Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak campus. I'm happy to say that this conference has piqued the interest of many participants from both local and international students, educators, and researchers. We received a total of 139 entries for our innovation competition and 39 paper submissions from educators and researchers from various educational focuses. This is a sign, I hope, that teachers and educators are taking more active roles in their professional development, looking at problems that they are facing in a critical manner and providing solutions. Apart from that, we are happy to announce that we have in our attendance today about more than 500 participants from all over Malaysia. Also joining us via online live streaming are participants from other countries. Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of our conference, Bridging the Gap, Exploring New Frontiers in Education for the 21st Century, was conceptualized as the committee discussed the challenges that educators have to face in today's world to stay relevant in the VUCA world. We acknowledge that there are gaps in the education system that we need to address. It is our desire then to get ahead and stay ahead of the race and to learn from other educational systems from other parts of the world. Therefore, we created this platform to showcase best practices that are happening at the international scale. Through the sessions in this conference, we hope every one of us here will be inspired to focus on what we can do as an organization, optimize the resources that we have, and bring positive impact on our students' learning. To meet the theme of this conference, together with MITE, we have managed to secure the participation of presenters from in and around Southeast Asia region. with different expertise and a wealth of experience to come and share with us. We are happy to have with us Dr. Cecilia Suarez from the Philippines. Probably you can stand up and yes, that's Dr. Cecilia Suarez. We have with us Dr. Tin Tandang from Vietnam. We also have with us Madam Raki Mukherjee. She is the principal of one of the top 2 international schools in Mumbai, India, and we met in India. We also have with us Professor Dr. Joko Nurkamto from Indonesia. And of course, we have our very own Dr. Aslam from Malaysia, my old friend. We also have with us speakers who have set up their own companies to provide consultancy and solutions for educational institutions. And they are Petri Karjalainen. He was our first featured speaker this morning. As you know, Petri is the founder of Finnish Learning Solutions, and I'm sure he has shared with you early this morning ideas on happy pedagogy practiced by schools in Finland and how he successfully contextualized that in schools in Malaysia. Flying in this morning would be Craig Cam from EduSpark. He's not here yet. He's flying in, who is based in Singapore and would be sharing on setting up and sustaining digital learning and educational technology. With this impressive list of speakers, I hope that we would take this opportunity to take a leaf out of their books and apply it to our own situation based on our own needs. They would be sharing with us not only the what's, but also the how those changes have been done in their own context. Therefore, I encourage each and every one of you to actively engage with their sharing, ask questions during lunch breaks. We have purposely arranged for longer lunch breaks. The speakers will be with us in this room. Lunch will be served in this room, and please take that opportunity to interact with our speakers. Ask them questions. In fact, they were hoping for their sessions to include Q&A sessions, but we say we leave the Q&A sessions for during lunch break. So that will be, that will give you a longer time to interact. Share your ideas as well and establish network that will undoubtedly enrich you in your personal growth and continuous pursuit of professional development. Also, please do take time to visit the booths on the left and the right hand side of in this hall that we have set up to showcase the winning innovation entries. So over lunch break, with our busking group playing your favorite oldies, we assume some of you are in the oldies group, so we request for our busking team to play old melodies, then you can visit our booths. We also have parallel sessions tomorrow afternoon. So if there are any topics that you're particularly interested in, please do go and visit our parallel session rooms. It is all listed in the program book. In conclusion, I would like to once again thank Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Roland Sagan, Minister to the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development on Sarawak, who is the ministry, our main sponsor, our only sponsor, actually not main, our only sponsor and our co-organizer. I would like to extend my gratitude as well to the speakers who have flown from all over the world to join us today. Dr. Tindang may be from Vietnam, but he flew in from the United States yesterday. So thank you very much, Dr. Tindang, to make time to be with us. Finally, let me officially welcome you to the International Conference on Educational Research and Innovation 2023. And let's make this conference a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam and Ms. Alicia, for the great speech. Next, we will present you a music video presentation entitled Welcome to the Future. For your information, the song in the video is Yang Berhormat, Datuk Sri Roland Sagah's favorite song. This song was written and recorded by an American country music artist named Brad Paisley. Released on July 13, 2009, the lyrics describe the changes that has seen in the advances in the technology and intercultural relationships in driving the education towards exploring new frontiers for the 21st century education. Meaningful thoughts sang in the lyrics of the song, which reflect on the aims of our program today. Thank you for the music video presentation.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great honor for me to invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Roland Sagah, Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development of Sarawak, to come up to the stage to grace us with his speech before officiating the International Conference on Education, Research and Innovation iCERI2023. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri the biggest round of applause.
Terima kasih kepada saudara-saudari pengacara majlis. A very good morning and salam Sarawak bersayang, salam Sarawak maju makmur. My appreciation to Madam Anis Alicia binti Abdullah, Director of the Institute of Teachers Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus Kota Semarahan, Madam Haja Siti Zulaiha binti Ibrahim, Deputy Director for Learning Sector, representing Sarawak State Education Director, Dr. Nuraini binti Haji Omar, Deputy Director of the Institute of Teachers Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus Kota Semarahan, Puan Adiba binti Umar, Coordinator of this conference, the Directors of the Institute of Teacher Education Sarawak Zone, officers from the State Education Department, MEITD officers, principals, headmasters, head of departments, lecturers, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very lucky this morning because surrounding me on both sides are ladies only. So that's ladies' power. Firstly, I wish to welcome all our distinguished speakers from outside of Malaysia for being able to be with us today and to share your knowledge and experiences with us. We are indeed grateful to be here and for the official opening ceremony of the International Conference on Education, Research and Education, iCERI 2023. not iCERI. Eh? It's very dangerous. Organized by my ministry and in collaboration with the Institute of Teachers Education, Tun Abdul Razak campus. First of all, I would like to convey my congratulations to the organizing committee for their diligence and sacrifices towards this event. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to proceed with my thoughts on this occasion. I am completely in favor of events such as iCERI2023 that are fully in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, that emphasize the need to address global challenges through collective efforts. Most relevant to this conference is, of course, the fourth goal of providing quality education. But I believe it is fair to say that all the other goals are related to or even dependent on education in one way or another. Wherever we may reside and whatever role we play in our society, each one of us has a part to play in the global community. And education releases our potential to contribute towards the greater good. Indeed, research and innovation is very important in the educational sector. Education is, of course, a very large field and includes numerous aspects. But the two aspects of research and innovation that are the focus of iCERI 2023 are of particular importance because they are the key to dealing with the volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world that we now live in. This we always call VUCA world. The only constant thing in life is change. I'm sure you have heard of this quote from the Greek philosopher Heraclitus. Once upon a time, it was enough merely to be consumers of information. Someone who knows many things. Later, it became necessary to be not just a consumer, but a user of information. So that is someone who can apply the knowledge that he has, whether for its original purpose or in new ways to deal with new challenges. Now, we need to be more than just users, but we must be creators of information. That is, someone who moves beyond what is known to explore and conquer the unknown. Am I asking too much when I say that we need creators of information? I don't think so. Because here in front of me, there are already many creators of information. I'm referring to every presenter and innovator in this conference. Congratulations on your success in contributing to the body of knowledge through your research and innovations. You all know that there's a shift from education 4.0 to education 5.0. Another perspective on the importance of educational research and innovation is related to the shift from education 4.0 to education 5.0. It involves an even greater realization that education must encompass not only cognitive development, but also emotional intelligence, adaptability, creativity, and critical thinking. Research and innovation and innovative practices are completely in line with this paradigm shift. I have three main reasons for saying this. Firstly, learning experiences can be more tailored to individual learners based on a deeper understanding of their needs and differences. This understanding comes from ongoing research. Once or since every generation is different from the previous ones. We cannot base our current practices for Gen X, Gen Z, or Gen Z on research findings about millennials. Secondly, research and innovation on artificial intelligence and algorithms enables adaptive learning experiences to better suit learners' socio-psychological profiles. And finally, the sharing of research findings and innovative practices becomes the basis for further collaboration among practitioners. Moving on in line with the theme of the conference, that is bridging the gap, exploring new frontiers in education for the 21st century. I would also like to share with you three of the current trends in education that, in my opinion, further highlights the pivotal role of educational research and innovation. Firstly, there is a move to focus on real skills, referring to skills that go beyond school subjects and technical knowledge, as well as recognizing the importance of social, emotional skills. To give an example from mathematics, we do not want to produce a learner who can apply quadratic equations perfectly, but lacks empathy, resilience, emotional control, and assertive communication when dealing with others. We cannot avoid interacting with others, no matter how touchless and virtual the world becomes. But we must learn new ways of interacting in the current context of cross-border collaboration and borderless multimodal communication needs. Currently, not enough is known about this. Hence, for educators to be better able to assist learners with these aspects, research is most definitely needed. Next, increasing attention is being given to new technology as well as applications of technology, chiefly gamification, blockchains, and artificial intelligence. All these fields are still developing and constantly evolving, and innovative teachers are well positioned to be at the cutting edge in applying these technologies for educational purposes because it involves big numbers of people. These innovations can be further strengthened and validated with evidence from research so that they do not remain idealistic good ideas that never materialize into tangible results. I expect that many such innovations will be presented over the course of this conference, including evidence on their effectiveness for further improvements. Research and innovation can likewise support teachers to move away from a top-down delivery mode towards a facilitative role. The best teachers in today's world are not those who are the best at spoon feeding, but by spoon feeding their learners or students with pre-digested facts, but those who can help students take ownership of their learning. We all know that there are so many platforms for communication and online learning available, but perhaps not all of these are suitable or effective for our learners. The only way to find out is through research. And if none are completely suitable, then innovation can help us create our own tools. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize that engaging in educational research and innovation is not merely icing on the cake or just a bonus. It is, in fact, the means to unleash the full potential of education and enable learners of all ages to thrive personally, contribute meaningfully to society, and navigate the complex challenges of our ever-evolving world. As we move forward, let us recognize the power of research and innovation in education and commit to fostering a culture of continuous improvement in which curiosity, experimentation, and creativity fuel our collective journey towards a brighter educational future. Before I take my leave, I sincerely hope that this conference will unfold smoothly and achieve the objectives presented earlier by our host, Madam Alicia binti Abdullah. Once again, I would like to convey my heartiest congratulations and sincere appreciation to the staff of the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus, Kota Surahan, and the Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development, Sarawak, for your excellent collaboration to make this program a success. Well done to all of you. And on those words, it is my pleasure to officiate the opening of iCERI 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the inspiring speech, Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri. Please kindly remain on stage as we are about to begin the highly anticipated section of our ceremony, the launching gaming. Therefore, I would like to invite Madam Anis Alisha binti Abdullah, Director of the Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus, to come on stage and join our honorable guests for the launching gaming. On the count of three, we would like to invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri to beat the gong 7 times. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To mark our people's gratitude, we would like to invite Madam Anis Alisha binti Abdullah to present our token of appreciation to the Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Roland Sagahwi, Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development of Sarawak, for officiating the opening ceremony of our iCERI 2023. Thank you very much, Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri and Madam Anis. So to mark this special moment, let's commemorate it with the photo taking session. So esteemed guests, kindly stay on the stage. We would like to invite our speakers to please come on the stage, to be on the stage for our photo taking session. Thank you very much. So we are going to have another photo taking session downstage together with all our guests and members of the audience. Indeed, the best moment of our life are not captured by camera, but we are stored as sweet memories in our mind, which always make us smile. As Caesar Purpose said, we do not remember days, we remember moments. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank the Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Roland Sagah Wiin and other distinguished guests for your presence today, and we would like to invite our distinguished guests to move to our holy group for a light refreshment. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a short break now. Distinguished guests, speakers, presenters, ladies and gentlemen, as we still have ample time before we move to the next session, we will entertain you with a performance by our very own Institute of Teacher Education, Tun Abdul Razak Campus Basking Band. So let us together listen to it. So probably our guests, if you would like to have to refresh yourself, please come back at 11:15, yeah? Because our next session will start at 11:15. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin our next session in 1 minute time. So please be seated. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Now let us together hear a sharing session from our keynote speaker. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now let us hear a sharing session from our keynote speaker. With that, we will hand over the session to Mr. Christopher Tan. Over to you, Mr. Chris.
Thank you very much to the MC. Most distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker for this morning is none other than Dr. Aslam Khan bin Samas Khan. He is the Academic Director and Executive Vice Chairman of American Education Group Malaysia, and the Executive Council member of MAPEI. Dr. Aslam is an experienced consultant with a demonstrated history of working in the professional training and coaching industry, skilled in coaching, facilitation, mentoring, executive management, and workshops. Strong education professional with Bachelor of Arts Honours, Master of Science, and Doctorate of Excellence in the 21st Century Education, focused in education, teacher education, professional development, English language education, continuous professional development, program management from UWCC, UPM, and USLD. Dr. Aslam will share with us today an overview of the conference and go on to share his journey as an educator. Come, let us all put our hands together and give Dr. Aslam a warm welcome. Dr. Aslam, the stage is yours.
So can you make it the first slide? Yeah. No, yeah, but it is as the whole thing. All right. So I press where? What about the notes at the side? It won't appear, yeah? Okay, so I press this one. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all my friends and also Madam Anis, the director. Thank you for inviting me, Deputy Director, and my friends from all over the world, and also teachers, lecturers, academics, and everyone. So I'm here today, like what the MC has mentioned, I'm going to share. All right? Now, let's look at a theme. When you talk about a theme, bridging the gap. Now, in order for us to bridge the gap, we really need to understand education, because it is mentioned at 21st century education, right? Okay, let's see. What is in store? I'm going to talk about this today in this an hour or so. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to take you on a journey of reflection. Yeah? Let's look at interesting quotes and philosophies in education. And these are really associated with 21st century education. Now, education needs to shift from teaching us facts to teaching us how to live extraordinary lives. Now, it's in our hands, ladies and gentlemen. esteemed educationists, we are not just teaching our students facts. We are teaching them how to live extraordinary lives. If we want them to live extraordinary lives, we have to be extraordinary. In bahasa Indonesia, kita harus luar biasa. All right? So are we ready for being the luar biasa educationists? I can't hear you. Are we ready? Good. All right? Now this is my quote, which I use everywhere in the world. We change lives and make a difference through education. It's a very deep in meaning. We change lives, and then we make a difference, through education. Yes, this is my pledge as an educationist. As educationists, we will swim across the widest ocean, scale the highest mountain, and brave the most violent storm. Why? In search of the elusive X factor. In pedagogy, all right, in ensuring our learners, now you see it's bolded there. The learners matter more than everything. Receive the very best through our teaching. We will never pause in our endeavors, even if it takes 100 years. That's the pledge if you want to be a true educationist. All right? Now, never mind, you can take as many photos and make this your screensaver. So every morning when you see these, you say that, yes, I want to be that educationist. Because we are educationists. All right? I'm just reciprocating to what Confucius say. If your plan is for 1 year, just plant rice. If your plan is for 10 years, go and plant trees. But if your plan is for 100 years, then you educate children. So it's 100 years, yeah? We must never, ever stop contributing to education. So in Malaysia, we say, saya nak bersara, sudah umurnya sampai 60. Tidak boleh. In Indonesia, we say, tidak bisa lagi. You have another 40 years to go. All right? So let's all go on a journey of a reflective practitioner. Now, all educationists, whether you are young, novice, whether you are experienced, you have reached the highest level, professorship and post-professorship, you must remember, we are reflective practitioners. We reflect on everything that we do. All right? So being an educator is about being the reflective practitioner. I think you learned this in education. What is a reflective practitioner? Now look at those cycles there. Conceptualization, internalization, realization, evaluation, review, reset. Now, because if you want to do something, you have to conceptualize, like what our YB Dato Sri mentioned just now. Research is crucial. When you conceptualize concepts, theories, hey, thousands of hours have been put in research. So they come up with certain concepts, theories. You have to internalize it first before you do anything. Before realizing, you have to internalize. That means you have to understand it, you have to dissect it, you have to digest it. I'm ready to realize it, because there is no undo button in education. In education, there's no undo button. Remember, when you teach a child, in year 1 or form 1 or whatsoever, and you have done it wrongly, you cannot say, hey, just like Toyota cars or whatever cars, hey, bring back, there's a defect in the brakes, there's defect here, there's defect there, hey, come, bring it back. No recall. Education, once they pass your stage, they pass. You cannot say, I taught them in standard 3, I taught them in form 3, not in form 5, I think I did it wrong. Hey, come back, I want to reteach you. Sorry. There is never an undo button in education. So remember, what you give is your obligation. That's it. So remember, what you do in class, make sure is pure perfect. All right? Now, we talk about what and how should we teach students nowadays. It has to be aligned to education transformation framework. Now, these are based on research. I'm not talking about a framework that is just done yesterday, based on serious research. Okay, based on the trends in education 4.0. So look at the trends. We have to conceptualize, internalize it, then we realize it. It's all there. I'm not going to read, yeah? All of you are esteemed educationists. You can grasp. Okay? And look at the last one. Lifelong learning mindset. This is all about mindset, about attitude. Yeah? All right? So, the what and the how should be addressed based on general outcomes versus specific outcomes. Because outcomes is based on outcome-based learning. You just cannot go to class from the pedagogical perspective to teach something and say that, what's the outcome? Outcome lah. This lah. I hope they get something like, no, it must be very general and it must be very specific. Okay? So remember this. This is what we call it outcome-based education. All right? Outcome-based education is one of the features in education these days. This is based on what we did with AWS. Okay? Amazon website system. We had a roundtable discussion. This was coined in terms of OBE. Teaching and learning need to be outcome-based and in close alignment with what? We just cannot go to a class and say we're going to teach. Everything has to be aligned with this. National and global needs and requirements. You cannot teach something that is already outdated, the way you teach it, the content. So don't be the dinosaur from the Jurassic Park. You have to make changes all the time. And then conceptualizing. I always use the word conceptualizing. Conceptualize frameworks in education. IR 4.0, Education 4.0, 5.0, 21st century education. You have to conceptualize it. All right? And look at the third one. Researchers on pedagogical approaches. Now, I put it there, no one head fits all system. There is never, if someone is in teaching in Kota Samarahan, year 5, same topic, another school in Kapit will be different, same topic, but the pedagogical perspective is different. If you teach in Kuching, it's different, or maybe next to you, it's also different. You know why? You know why? Same curriculum, same syllabus, same topic, but your approach will be different. Why? So that's why there's no one head fits all. You cannot say, okay, take this and teach. This is the way for all the students in the country. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to decentralize the pedagogical perspective. Same topic, you give the suggestions, I make amendments to suit the needs of my students. That's what we call learner-centered approach. Don't take somewhere everywhere and use it for my students. No. Because you are the teacher in the class. You are the captain of the ship in the class. You know your students well. You deal with them according to their needs. And your learning styles, the students' learning styles is based on your teaching styles. Okay? Everybody looks so serious. Hey, never mind. We are going on a journey as a reflective practitioner. All right? Is there a difference between teaching and educating? Yes. Some say, I'm a teacher. I said, no. Not only that, I'm an educator. And I always tell this. When I give talks to school teachers or, for motivation talk, I always do this. This is my trademark. I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, and I'm the chosen one. Because God has chosen us to be educators, not anybody else. Bring a doctor to the class and he will run away after 10 minutes. Bring an accountant to the class, he say, I'm sorry. Bring a lawyer to class and teach. I know, but we survived the journey. Why? Because we are the chosen one. Thank you, God. Thank you, Allah. Yes. So you have to be like that. All right? So let's continue. Oh, okay. I get responses. Okay, so there's a difference between teaching and educating. You must understand. Do we teach or do we educate? You have to ask yourself. So when somebody asks you, because in Malaysia, I've been in Kementerian Pendidikan, teacher, lecturer, whatever. I always ask, why do you want to become a teacher? Teacher, only a teacher. You see, the tone is, I'm a teacher. No, you must stand and say, I'm a teacher. Why do you want to be a teacher? Why not? You have a problem? I don't have any problem. Okay. All right. So just tell yourself, I teach and I educate. All right. So remember that. You're both a teacher and also an educator. Okay. Let's look at this framework. This is based on research. Okay. Southeast Asia Teachers Competency Framework. It was done in Bangkok. They came up with this framework. Are you happy with the framework? Yes, lots of research. Now look at the core, ladies and gentlemen. What's the core? What is the core? Can you see? Joyful learner. At the end of the day, whatever you do, innovative experiences, research, at the end of the day, what really matters? What really matters? The learners. The learners. We change lives and make a difference through education to the learners. All right? So at the end of the day, it's still the learners. Okay, let's revisit and internalize theories and concepts to enhance our pedagogical endeavor. All pedagogical endeavors are based on researchers. As I mentioned earlier, thousands of hours spent on researchers, and they come up with concepts, theories. So we need to respect all these researchers and look at their concepts and theories, and then we try to, the big word I'll share later. All right? What's the big word there? What's the big word there, ladies and gentlemen? Contextualization. Alvin Toffler says 6 C's. Aslam says not enough. 6 C's plus 1. What's the plus 1? Contextualization. You need to contextualize it according to your according to your learners. Your learners. Okay? The pedagogical needs of your learners need to be contextualized according to their ability. And then we talk about education 4.0. Have you really internalized, conceptualized, internalized, and digest it? If you have, then you realize it. Make it happen. Okay? Look at the 9 trends. Where do you think you are? Where do you think we are in realizing the 9 trends? How many of these trends have we put in our thoughts? How many? A big question. As I said that, I'm taking you on a reflective journey, yeah? And then promoting education 5.0. Look at the statement below. Education 5.0 is a chain that links digital and technological knowledge to human, social, and emotional skills to promote well-being. So we are not talking about robots only. All right? I come to technology. What technology is all about. Okay? What's the difference between education 4.0 and 5.0? Look at the difference. Education 5.0 adds a more human perspective to learning, including social and emotional abilities, in order to promote lesser environmental impact with greater health and safety. So remember, Education 5.0 has added a little bit more on the human aspect, yeah? So, have we embraced this shift, the landscape shift in education, or are we still embracing this shift? 2023, 23 years after 21st century education, some are still grappling, some are still embracing, some have embraced. So this is something that we need to reflect, yeah? Shift the learning, the 7 most powerful idea shifts in learning today. Look at the 7. It's very powerful, you know. Have we embraced this? So that teaching and learning becomes very, very effective. And we are giving quality to our learners. Remember, we have a social and professional obligation to our learners. Remember this. The 7 most powerful idea shifts in learning today. All right? I'm not going to read. I think you can see very clearly. Yeah? This is something that we need to understand. When there's a shift from this to that, there's definitely tensions. We are not just coming to class in our pedagogical perspective to fill the vessel. Sorry, we are not filling the vessel. We are kindling the fire in our learners. We are not retelling. They have the books. You don't retell. We allow them to discover. It's not information transfer. It's learning to learn. It's not textbook driven. Excuse me. It's research driven. And it's not passive learning. It is active learning. And we are talking about competition? No, it is collaboration. Are we talking about national level? No, we are looking at international level. So this is the shift that we educationists need to understand. Okay? Conventions, yes. Everybody understands the convention, right? In Philippines, 70 or 80 students, but not bad in Malaysia, 40. All right? Yeah, in IPG, you have this. All right, this is a convention. All right? Conventions. Examination. Look at examination. Like this. All right? Conventions. But the changing landscape, the shift when you're in 21st century education. We transcend the new horizon and we adhere to the shift. This is now. Interact with technology. Anywhere, everywhere, anytime. Education 4.0. Okay? And assessment. Look at this. Now we do online. It's all online. And then you say that, hey, if it's online, there is element of dishonesty. Sorry, we have AI-led fraud detection. When you are in front of the laptop doing a test, your eyes move, or maybe you tweak a little bit here and there. AI says, excuse me, fraud detected. And all your scripts will be sent to all the professors in the world. There are 1,000 professors waiting to mark your scripts. That is what technology has given us. So let's look at technology now. Everybody wants to jump into the bandwagon. Hey, you use technology. I also want to use lah. You want to use? I also want to use lah. Everybody wants to use, but without understanding the protocols, the decorum in using technology. Remember, technology is not your master. I repeat, I reiterate. Technology is not your master. Technology is your servant. You are the master. And technology is not the end. Technology is a means to the end, not the end. So keep this in your head. All right? So we know there are benefits in technology in education. Okay? So we understand this. Okay? We know that with technology, we can enhance our, in Malaysia we call it PNP, right? Our teaching and learning. So benefits, non-arguable. Benefits are there. So you see, technology is meant to enhance the curriculum and be used in context with it. Remember I used the keyword? What's my keyword? Contextualization. Teachers, academics, educationists. Never, ever be imposed upon by pedagogical perspective by someone else. You know your students well. All right? You know your students well. It's in your hands. Now we know when we're talking about technology, we're talking about, look at this. 2022, top 100 tools for learning. We all agree these are the top 100 tools. Just ask yourself, we are on the journey of being a reflective practitioner, right? How many of these tools, how many out of 100 do you have access or you can conceptualize and you can realize? Another question. Okay? Don't worry, you don't have to answer my question because all these questions are rhetorical questions. It's a reflective practitioner's question. All right? These are tools. And then we have platforms, functional description, classification, and categorization. Now you look at all these, all available at your disposal. How many of you have really utilized them? Someone is smiling there. Someone is scratching their head there. Whatever. All right? At our disposal. We are talking about technology, yeah? And what does technology have to do? Should what? as a tool, remember, they are not a master. They are your servant. Okay? And it is a tool. Provoke to try and master skills, encourage to co-create, inspire to explore beyond the tangible. Now, this is important. What you see is very tangible. But what about the intangibles? The abstract, not the concrete. All right? Raise interest in topics, themes, and context. Motivate to engage in the real world. All right? So remember this. Then we talk about you need to adapt to technology. So we talk about adaptability, technological adaptability. Adapt. Before you adopt, you need to, yeah, of course, clever, good answer. Before you, very good answer. You need to adapt. But before you adapt, you need to conceptualize, internalize, and to realize you are doing this. All right, remember this. Yes, it's a very strong statement. Technology can't replace teachers. But teachers who use technology will replace teachers who don't. Yes. Teaching is, especially Education 5.0, is human relationship. But teachers, remember this, yeah? If you don't, you are not technologically savvy, teachers who are technology savvy will replace you. All right? Now, other aspects of the shift. We are talking about a shift. Okay? We want to bridge the gap to make sure that everybody gets closer. The haves and the have-nots, then we need to understand the shift. And these are other aspects of the shift. All right? There are 4 other aspects of the shift. What about pedagogical implication? So we talk about the shift. We talk about embracing the shift. We talk about the concepts. We talk about realizing theories. But at the end of the day, everything has to be done in the classroom. You are the game changer. So we reimagine education in the landscape shift to ensure what? Continuity in learning and teaching. All right? So I came up with this. How I'm going to reimagine teaching and learning. So this is how it should be. All right? Holistic pedagogical approach, maximizing the use of technology, testing and evaluation and assessment, examination need to be revisited. It cannot be something that is centralized all the time. Decentralization is crucial. And look at the last one. Every learner deserves the best education. Whether they are in the city or whether they are in the rural areas, they deserve the best from you. We're talking about equity. Yeah? Equity. All right? Could this be solutions to the shift? Yes, we talk about TPAC. Everybody knows TPAC. But how do you realize TPAC? How do you realize it? Hybrid learning model. We talk about hybrid. Everybody knows. But how do you make it effective? Okay? We talk about the 5E instructional model by Roger Bybee. How do you internalize this? How do you realize this? Flipped classroom. In theory, you understand. But what about the application? Blended learning. Everybody knows this. Okay, this is for my current institution. I came up with this model. How do you stand in front of the class and teach English? Evaluate, reactivate, infuse, consolidate, articulate, nourish. You want to know more about this? You can invite me and I'll share with you. Okay, a model that I created for my organization. We can talk about this during lunchtime. And then I created a model again for teaching grammar. How do you do the DIAN model? Deliver, integrate, analyze, and navigate. And then I use the Aslam's model as a methodology using my name. Activate, share, learn, apply, move. So you can come up with your own models and contextualize it. Because all of us are learned people. Come up with your own model. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of any models that you want to do. Like all of you on the left and on the right, come up with your model. You all are great innovators, great researchers. Come up with your model and share and call whatever you want to call it. Okay? Will you be able to do that on the left and the right? Okay, I'll see you later. Okay? Learner-centered. Now, we must make sure that every model that we come at the end of the day, learner-centered. Because the learners are the most crucial, prominent beings in teaching and learning. All right? Then we talk about professional development. Teachers need, educators need professional development. All right? So what kind of models do you want to use for professional development? It doesn't mean that, okay, besok ada kursus di sana 3 hari. Besok ada workshop. Tomorrow there's workshop. That's it. That's it. Is there a model that you use? Is there an outcome-based model that you use so that whatever professional development is conducted, it must have an outcome based on a model? Kita say, tahun ini, this year we do 5 CPD. Next year we do 6. At the end of the day, we have done 12, 10, 11. Okay, CPD done. Thank you very much. Bye. No. It must be based on a model. If your models in CPD, all right, models in CPD has to be aligned based on the outcome that you want to achieve. This is an example by my 2 friends who call me, sir, look at my model. I said, yes, this is a good model. Okay? They came up with this POD-PROS model for professional development. All right? So I told them, great. Well done. Come up with the models. And then it's all outcome-based, yeah? Then what about resources and instructional materials? Somebody said that, okay, we use this, we use that, we use this. But all instructional materials have to follow a system. Not just take from the shelf and use anywhere. You must evaluate it. And you must see whether these instructional resources are really going to achieve the objectives. Yeah. Now we have this everywhere. All right. Look at all these instructional resources. We have this. You can find this everywhere. How to use them? How do you use them? So therefore, you have to come up with a conceptual framework. Because the questions are always like that. Apply and utilize. Pertinent questions. What should I use? When should I use? How should I use? What factors must I take into great consideration? You must always ask yourself this from the pedagogical perspective. So, all resource materials must adhere to this. It's cited in Richards, yeah? All materials that you take into the class, even a piece of cue card you bring to the classroom, it must serve a function. If not, don't use them. It must. Every little thing that you use, it must be meaningful, and it is based on the outcome. If no, leave it. Don't use materials for the sake of using. Remember that. And the criteria for determining the quality of instructional materials, look at this, 2017 by these writers. Look at the criteria: accuracy and visual appeal, ease of use and support, make the materials clear and accessible, alignment to standards, depth of knowledge, engagement, ability to meet students' needs, take into consideration individual needs and learning styles, make sure the materials support learning objectives. These are the criteria. I know, based on research. And I make it easy. I came with my own model to make it easy. Remember Aslam just now? The different stages in a lesson. You start the lesson, activate, share, learn, apply, move, and then draw that. Materials used. I use Ed Sharon. Perfect. To teach, he had such quiet eyes by Bipsi Soharjo. I think all of you know she is a great Indonesian poet. I teach literature, poetry. So I put the implications, strengths, weaknesses, suggestions, recommendation, general remarks, and comments. So when you do this, you are already adhering to the shift in the education landscape, and you are the 21st century educator. All right? Then we have policies, governance, and leadership. These are very crucial when we bridge the gap in moving towards or in realizing 21st century education. It's not just us, policymakers, the governance, the leadership. Now, this is something that all of us need to know. Leaders are not born. Excuse me, they are made. I'm reading that book, Win or Die in Leadership. That's me. All right. Okay. So remember, leaders are not born, they are made. So all of us can be leaders in our own ways. All right. So let's explore some quotes. So these quotes are all about leadership. All right. In education. Now you look at the last one. The last one by the late Steve Jobs. You know Steve Jobs, right? Okay, Apple. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. If you are not an innovator, you are not a leader. You are just a mere follower. So that's a very pertinent quote by Steve Jobs. And then we talk about KPI. Leaders talk about key performance indicators. But in the 21st century, the new leadership in KPI means keep people interested, keep people informed, keep people involved, keep people inspired. Then you are the leader of the 21st century in education. That's Madam Anis, right? Okay. Well done, Madam Anis. So remember, it's not KPI as key performance indicators. This is 21st century leadership in education. All right? Now, very important, effective leadership skills are crucial in the field of education to drive positive change, foster a supportive environment, and promote student success. Now you see how it goes. This is a cycle in achieving success in education. Yeah, of course, there are challenges. In life, there are lots of challenges. In education, in bridging the gap, in 21st century education, challenges are there. That's why God gave you two hands, not one hand. God says, I give you the challenges in the right hand. Why are you looking at the right hand? I gave you another hand on the left. The solutions are there. You forgot. You always look at the right hand at the closed doors. Okay? Yes. I think all of you agree. Online education during the MCO, during the pandemic. This is how. Not easy, right? To get students interested. Of course, something for us to smile about. Yeah, there are key challenges when you're looking at technology online. These are the key. You cannot run away from all these challenges, but the big but there. there are always solutions. Look at your left hand. Don't always look at the right hand. There are solutions, okay? There are solutions. Challenges are there, okay? Okay, my time is up. Discussion and conclusion, all right? The significant elements in the education landscape shift. Now remember, when we talk about landscape shift in education, these are the four. It's the learners, the policies and governance, institutional, and teachers. If you can have these four elements settle, ladies and gentlemen, you are on the road of not only embracing, but you have conceptualized and you have realized 21st century education. And don't forget, never ever forget the affective domain. Don't just concentrate on the cognitive domain because we are dealing with human beings. Remember Education 5.0? The additional part? Human. Education is dealing with human. So affective domain must not be put aside. Both cognitive and affective domain. Not only I'm saying that, founder of Empower ED, Francis, he said this: Maslow before Bloom should be the new battle cry in education. Maslow is the affective. Bloom is the cognitive. So remember, there's a key word there. And then we talk about equitable access matters more. So all the students in the rural areas and all the students in the top schools in the city must have equal opportunities. And we must give them equal input. Not just because the father is a taxi driver, oh, it's okay lah. Mother is a street vendor, it's okay. Oh, father is a lawyer, doctor, oh, we must take care more. No. Because we have a social, educational obligation. And it's very important because we are talking about humanity, yeah? Remember this. So, multiple pathways, we know. Not one hat fits all, and we know better funding. I think Madam Anis is a little fortunate we have the minister funding. Okay, sound pedagogical knowledge, yeah? Sound, you must have, not the sound as in the sound, must be very clear. All right, must be very clear. And then you have to review, always review, evaluate, review, reset the button. Okay, now, of course, I'll come to the last slide, then you know what I'm trying to say about number 7. Okay, look at all these points. Okay, all these points are very crucial, yeah? And therefore, for us, we need to remain relevant. So teaching must become learner-driven, ethnographic, compelling and authentic for learners, integrate technology, and embrace the new technologies. So whether you like it or not, technology is going to be here to stay. Take it or leave it. It has to be taken. All right? So in the context of embracing the shift, it's not about telling teachers what and how they should teach to bring about change in the students' learning outcomes. It's about empowering teachers. Now, teachers, how many of you are teachers? Put up your hands. I'm with you. I'm also a teacher. Once a teacher, forever a teacher. Whether I'm a doctor or professor or lecturer, I'm a teacher. And go back and tell your principals, your teachers. Dr. Aslam has empowered us. Please give us the respect of empowerment. Okay, empowering teachers to make their own decisions about what needs to change. Empowering teachers in this way has been identified as the soul of Japanese lesson study. You know, it is the soul which can easily be you see, it is the soul which can so easily be compromised when lesson study is adopted and inevitably it seems adapted in new contexts around the globe. Without teacher empowerment, top-down curriculum development is almost bound to fail. There is no top-down curriculum. It is bottom-up, top-down, we meet halfway. We meet halfway. Because teachers, you are also an authority. Don't stay quiet. Let me hear your voices. Okay? All right. So this is contextualization. Contextualize and justify your selection of all the pedagogical models based on your learners' language competence, maturity, learning styles, socioeconomic status, syllabus curriculum requirements, availability of resources, and other factors which, to your knowledge, will affect learning. Believe in empowerment and have faith and trust in your abilities. Being the practitioner, you know best of the content and pedagogical. The empowerment of any initiative lies in your hands. Segala-galanya di tangan Anda. I'm not promoting Selcom, okay? Okay, so words of wisdom in embracing the shift. These are the words of wisdom that you have to put in your heart, put in your soul as an educator. All right? And the last one from me, there's never a one head fits all in education. Contextualization in teaching and learning would be the best solution in facing challenges. Okay, so we have new kinds of problems, require new methods of solutions. And new method of solutions require new ways of thinking, like what our YB mentioned, critical thinking. So, in 21st century, education has seen numerous innovations, including the integration of technology into classroom, personalized learning approaches, online education platforms, and the rise of experiential learning techniques. Additionally, there's been an emphasis on STEAM education, project-based learning, and a focus on critical thinking and problem-solving skills. These advancements have aimed to make education more accessible, engaging, and effective for all students of all ages. So remember this. And you can have this as a summary of what I've mentioned. Enhancing the initiatives in embracing the shift. So to keep this, take it back, try to conceptualize it, and tell yourself, if I want to shift, I want to embrace the shift. That means I am bridging the gap. Okay? For 21st century education, I have to look at all these aspects in detail. But not to worry, ladies and gentlemen, this is my parting words. As a 21st century educationist, you'll never walk alone. Liverpool fans, put out your hands. You'll never walk alone, and you must never, ever walk alone. We are together. We are together. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
There are a lot of Manchester United fans here as well, yeah? Thank you very much, Dr. Aslam, for the very enlightening and informative sharing. Kindly remain on stage. We would like to invite our director, Puan Anis Alicia, to present Dr. Aslam with a token of appreciation. Please give Dr. Aslam a big round of applause. Thank you very much again, Dr. Aslam and Puan Anis. Puan MC, the session is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher Tan, and also to our speaker. Thank you very much. What an inspiring sharing. All right, with that, I believe that will be the end of our morning session for today. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with pure delight that I invite all of the distinguished guests and invited speakers to the designated dining at the back of our hall. Okay, as for teachers sponsored by MEITD, profess, presenters, iCERI, IPG Keta, and staff and students committee members. Okay, you are also invited to the common dining area at the back of the hall for specially served packed food for your lunch. Okay, you may have your meal in this hall, and as for our Muslim guests, please be informed that our Pusat Islam is at our mosque is on the right hand corner from the main entrance as you enter our IPG just now. Okay, so gentle reminder. Please be back to the Dewan Sri Samarahan before 1:30 because we are going to start our afternoon session at 1:30 p.m. Okay. So thank you very much and have a nice day. So meet you later, 1:30 p.m. Yeah. Music, please.
Cuba. Perhatian kepada tetamu jemputan untuk guru-guru tajaan MEITD, anda disediakan makanan berbungkus di bahagian belakang dewan. Juga kepada AJK, pelajar-pelajar AJK, pensyarah-pensyarah AJK, makanan tengah hari disediakan secara berbungkus di bahagian belakang dewan. Untuk pelajar IPG Ketar yang menonton sebentar tadi, jamuan hanya disediakan untuk sarapan pagi tadi sahaja. Harap maklum, terima kasih. Ulang pengumuman, jamuan tengah hari berbungkus untuk guru-guru jemputan tajaan MEITD, para pembentang penyelidikan, AJK pensyarah, AJK pelajar. Sila ambil di bahagian belakang dewan. Untuk pelajar penonton dari IPG kita, hanya disediakan jamuan sarapan pagi tadi. Harap maklum, terima kasih.